Hey guys, welcome to week 14. So this week we're going to cover chapter 10 in your textbooks, which is all about externalities. So externalities are situations where there's either extra benefits or costs associated with an action. And those extra benefits or costs are not paid for or received by the person who's taking the action. So an example of a negative externality would be pollution. So a power company produces electricity, they pay for the private cost of that, but they don't pay the cost of the suffrage of the people around who are breathing in the pollution. And so that's an extra cost or a negative externality. And whenever we have negative externalities, the market tends to produce too much of the good relative to the social optimum. And so one way the government can remedy that is by charging a tax exactly equal to the size of the externality, and that will force the companies producing the pollution to sort of produce the right amount. Now, a positive externality is when there's an extra benefit associated with an action. So, for example, if I get a vaccine, I get a private benefit of me not getting sick, but there's an extra benefit, an external benefit of I don't get other people sick. But when I go in to pay for the vaccine, I'm not willing to pay to not get other people sick. I'm only willing to pay to not get myself sick. So when we have positive externalities, what ends up happening is the market produces too little of the good. And so the way the government tries to fix that is by subsidizing. So that's why we see free flu shots or discounted flu shots. That's the government trying to entice people to get more flu shots because they know in equilibrium we're not going to get enough. So this chapter is sort of wrapping up the section on market failures. Situations where the market does not produce the exact right amount in equilibrium, or what we'll call the socially efficient amount. So again, in chapter 8, we talked about imperfect competition, where the monopoly's equilibrium was not the same as the efficient competitive equilibrium. And then in chapter 9, we talked about the prisoner's dilemma, where people's self-interest led them to a suboptimal outcome. And then in this chapter, we have externalities which lead the market to not produce the right amount either. And so all three of these situations sort of fly in the face of Adam Smith and his prediction in the invisible hand theory, which says we just need self-interested buyers and sellers to interact in the markets and we'll always get the best outcome. And so if that was true, we really wouldn't need any government help or any government intervention into any markets. But because we do have externalities and because we do have monopolists, we actually don't always get the best amount, and so we do have a justification for government intervention in some markets. Okay, so this week you're only going to have 2 assignments. You've got one Learn Smart assignment for chapter 10, and you've got one discussion assignment trying to give me an example of a negative externality and then describe how the government can try and remedy the problems caused by that externality. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and next week will sort of just be study time and getting ready for the final, which we're going to take in week 16. All right, hope you guys have a great week, and we'll see you next time.